Bala, Leon, Bailey, welcome back to the Sports Perspective TV viewers and subscribers. And from here, the intro, then you know who we'll be talking about in this video. None other than Leon Chippy Bailey, the Jamaican top winger, who is having a brilliant season in the English Premier League. So we're going to be reviewing his performance over the weekend for Aston Villa. I'm talking about his season so far, his brilliant season so far. And, what his performances this season would mean for him, in going forward for his future, So stick around and we'll get into the details of this video. But as usual, do remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share your thoughts in the comment section. So Leon Bailey, we see where he had another good performance for Aston Villa this weekend in their draw against Brentford. Brentford, which is also the team of fellow reggae boy Ethan Pinnock. But who is out injured right now, so Ethan Pinnock didn't feature in the game, but Leon Bailey did, and he had a decent game. He helped Aston Villa to secure a point in the match, by providing an assist to Ollie Watkins, in the last moments of the match. A brilliant cross, which he crossed over into the box, and Ollie Watkins was able to, put it in the goal with a brilliant header. So another assist for Leon Bailey, for Aston Villa, in the Premier League. So far in the Premier League this season, he has 8 goals and 8 assists, which is one of his best seasons. I'll say his best season of his club career so far, without a doubt, because he's not only contributing for Aston Villa in the Premier League, they're in the Europa League, and he is scoring goals and providing assists there as well. So it's been a brilliant season for Leon Bailey, in Aston Villa colours. And even if you remember when he first signed to Aston Villa, his first season, which was injury plague, he had a lot of injuries, but the Aston Villa fans weren't pleased with him, weren't pleased with his performance, and they had good reason to. The same way Jamaican fans aren't pleased with his performance at times, or most times, because we know the talent that he has. The same with Aston Villa. He came into the club, after as the replacement for Jack Grealish, who Aston Villa sold to Manchester City. And so he came into their club with and they a lot of expectations were on his shoulder. And the first season he didn't live up to those expectations, partly due to injury, but whenever he did go on the field, his performances weren't up to expectations, but last season, he had an improved season. Had injuries as well, but not as much as the first season. I know this season he is showing his class, showing that he's not only talented, but he can produce the performances to back up that talent that he has, and we're seeing it on the field for Aston Villa now in the Premier League, which is the best league in the world, and his performances have been nothing short of spectacular, and he looks dangerous on the ball whenever he gets the ball, and he's providing for his teammates, providing assists, scoring goals, and even if he's creating chances for his team, so he has 8 assists so far, but if his teammates were more clinical in front of goal, that number could be a lot higher. And there are a lot of matches still remaining in the Premier League season for Aston Villa. So there's no doubt in my mind that Leon Bailey, will, continue to perform well for them and, score more goals and also provide more assists. And his turnaround, even in an interview that he did, and they asked him, what changed from the previous seasons to this season, why we're now seeing this in his performance. And he even said it himself, the coach, Unai Emery, has a big part to play in this turnaround for Leon Bailey. He definitely gave him credit, and he said that Emery provides clarity, of what he expects from the players, what he expects from him, and Yeah, he in the interview he went on and spoke about multiple things that Emery has done, has said to him, just from conversations that, gives him confidence because Bill is he knows that he's super talented. The world knows that Liam Bailey is super talented, but sometimes you need, that coach that believes in you and actually reminds you of the talent that you have, and along with letting you know clearly what they expect from you. And that's what Unai Emery has done for Leon Bailey, and we're seeing it in his performances on the field for Aston Villa. And I would say arguably Leon Bailey so far has been the second best player um after Ollie Watkins, for Aston Villa this season. In terms of goal contribution, in terms of, just like I said, his production on the field. So even if he doesn't get a goal or an assist, he's creating chances, he's looking dangerous on the ball, whenever, he gets on the ball. And just that threat which he provides, other teams are very mindful of Leon Bailey, which then, creates space and opportunities for his other teammates as well. So even when he doesn't score or assist, just his presence on the field, is good or good enough to help to create space and opportunities for his other teammates. And as you know, football is a game of space, movement, and scoring goals. So Leon Bailey is definitely his performances so far for Aston Villa has been tremendous. And I even remember at one point earlier in the season where and I think that was actually a part of the turnaround in his season where he came on as a substitute in the first half of the match, and Unai Emery substituted him in the second half of the match. And you could tell that he was visibly disappointed, having come on as a substitute and then being substituted. And he didn't even go and sit with the team on the bench, he just went in the tunnel and went straight to the dressing room, and there was an international break after that, and ever since Leon Bailey has been back to Aston Villa after that, double substitution, by Unai Emery, his performances have just skyrocketed, brilliant performances all around by Leon Bailey, so great season, and I hope he can just continue in that vein of form, to to help Aston Villa. Honestly, I want to see Leon Bailey do well, but I am a Manchester United fan, right? So, and right now, where Manchester United, Aston Villa, and Tottenham are in a battle for the fourth place position, which is a Champions League position. So honestly, I want to see Leon Bailey do well, but I don't want to see Aston Villa do well. I want Manchester United to get that fourth spot. It's going to be tough. Aston Villa, they do have a very big lead, over Manchester United, for that position, and also Tottenham as well are equal on points with Aston Villa. So from a Manchester United perspective, it will be tough to secure that fourth place position. But there are still a lot of matches remaining in the season, and anything is possible. So we'll see how that goes. But getting back, speaking about Leon Bailey, this season that he's having for Aston Villa in the Premier League, which is the top league in the world, I'm sure he's that the season that he's having he's catching the eyes of a lot of top clubs in the world. Because people always knew the talent that he had, but now they're actually seeing the production, him produce on the field. And I'm sure a lot of big clubs in the world, in the Premier League, in La Liga, all the top leagues in the world are taking note of Leon Bailey's performance. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if a top club, approaches Aston Villa this season, to try and secure the services of Leon Bailey for their team. Whether or not it will be a good decision for Leon Bailey to move on to another club, we just have to wait and see. But Leon Bailey even said it himself. He's a confident player. He has a lot of confidence in his abilities. And I'm sure if the right opportunity presents itself, he will definitely consider it. Both him and he will consider it along with his agent, of course, and make the decision which they think is best for him and his career and his future. You know, he recently renewed his contract with Aston Villa, you know, extended his contract with Aston Villa, you know, which, you know, gives Aston Villa leverage in negotiations as well with other teams, if other teams approach them for the services of Leon Bailey, you know. So we'll see how it goes, you know, when the summer comes, and at the end of the Premier League season and the transfer window opens, if, you know, there'll be any action on any transfer for Leon Bailey, you know. But he's made it clear that he's happy at Aston Villa, you know, he's happy, you know, with his current, you know, situation at Aston Villa. So, you know, it will definitely have to be a very, very good offer for him to you know, decide to leave Aston Villa this summer. But as he said himself, you know, you never know with football, anything is possible, you know. So we'll see, you know, what happens in the summer when the Premier League season, you know, finishes, and if any team approaches him to you know, secure his services for next season. But so far, so good. Brilliant season for Leon Bailey, and even looking forward from a Jamaican perspective, from a Jamaican national team perspective, you know he said in his interview that he's taking a break from the Jamaican team, you know, for his mental health, you know. And you know how the JFF issues, you know, it's understandable why a player would want to take a break, especially Leon Bailey, which who you know, based on what he said, he does a lot of things, you know, for the Jamaican national team on and off the pitch. You know, it can take a toll, you know, on your brain. You know, so it's definitely understandable if he feels as if he needs to take a break from the national team to just get back to himself. You know, but I am definitely hoping that he will make himself available for the upcoming matches for the Reggae Boys, you know, in June. You know, we have World Cup qualifiers coming up in June, you know, the start of World Cup qualifiers. And as you know, that's the main aim of the Coach Hal Grimston and the entire JFF, you know, everybody related to Jamaican football, you know, that the main goal is to get the team to qualify for the 2026 World Cup, you know. And Leon Bailey, you know, should be a huge part of that, you know. He is one of our most talented players, definitely, you know, no doubt about that, no questions about that. You know, maybe, you know, his performances hasn't always been up to the standard that we expect, but we all know as Jamaican fans the quality that he possesses and, you know, what he can bring to the team. So definitely want to see him in the squad for, you know, the upcoming World Cup qualifiers and Copa America, you know. So because again, team chemistry is very important, you know, and even Coach Hal Grimston stresses on the importance of building a team, you know, the team cohesion, you know, both on and off the field. And Leon Bailey is a big part of that. So definitely hoping that, you know, he will make himself available for the upcoming matches for Jamaica. But again, just to recap, you know, Leon Bailey had another assist for Brentford over the week, for Aston Villa over the weekend against Brentford to help them secure a draw in their match. You know, he's having a brilliant season, the best season of his club career so far. So far, you know, scoring, you know, 8 goals and having 8 assists. You know, and definitely, you know, can see, you know, him, you know, big clubs trying to get his services, you know, for next season and in the summer. But we'll see how it goes. But so that's all I have for you for this video. So thanks again for tuning in, and do remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comment section. Sports Perspective TV, thanks again for tuning in.